Prepare for trouble.
And make it double.
And make it triple.
Look, it's a nipple.
What's up, trainers? It's Moose Punk here, coming correct, bringing your favorite moose knuckle. Now in today's episode, we are dealing with the brand new feature in Pokemon Go, which is Team Rocket Go. Now this is an amazing new feature that allows you to battle Team Rocket, to capture shadow Pokemon, and then purify them for purified Pokemon. So I thought I should bring you guys an awesome tutorial and some awesome tips on how to beat Team Rocket and how to maximize and getting a lot of cool Pokemon. So before we continue, I just want to say, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Check out my channel trailer right up there. And if you like what you see, please make sure to subscribe. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I provide some really awesome Pokemon Go content, so I'd really appreciate a few more subs. Thanks, trainers. Now let's get right into it. Alright, so what is this whole new feature in Pokemon Go? Well, apparently Team Rocket has invaded Pokestops in Pokemon Go. Now which Pokestops, you ask? Any and every stop, although it's completely random. So basically what happens is, at a certain period in time, without any warning, a stop becomes infiltrated with Team Rocket. Now when you're walking up to the stop, comparatively you'll see it be a little darker and you'll see it sort of glitchy. That's the best way I can explain it, but obviously on the screen here you can see what I'm talking about. Now when you do actually walk up close enough to that stop, a Team Rocket trainer will actually appear, and then you get to spin the stop, or you don't even have to, and as soon as you exit out of it, that'll take you to the trainer battle. Now it's going to look very much like PvP. Similarly, it'll allow you to choose 3 Pokemon and go against it. Now the thing is that these battles are very tough, and that's exactly why I wanted to make this tutorial, to tell you guys how to win these battles. Alrighty, so the first and foremost thing you actually have to do is you have to make a Master League team. So that's very easy to do. You just basically go to the Pokeball, you go to your Pokemon, and you select 3 Pokemon to be in your Master League. If you don't do that, for some reason, currently, this is, I don't know if it's a glitch, I don't know if that's going to be like this forever, but currently, if you do not have a pre-selected Master League team, it's going to automatically default you into Great League, which means that you could only use Pokemon up to 1,500 CP, and that is straight up going to kill you. Because like I said, these battles are pretty tough. So first and foremost, just set yourself up a team for the Master League. Alrighty, now once you have that ready to go, the next thing you have to research is which Pokemon are actually going to be good against these Team Rocket players. Now, at the end of the text, I believe there's like 3 things that Team Rocket says, and then the 4th, last thing, right before you can hit going into battle, that is your biggest clue about what actual type of Pokemon you will be battling against. So, I'll pull up the list over here. This isn't an all-inclusive list, but this is most of them. So when a Team Rocket player says this, then you'll know you'll be up against, you know, this type of a Pokemon. So what do you have to do? Well, then you have to know what's going to be super effective against it. Let me give you an example. Water Pokemon. What's going to be super effective against it? Electric Pokemon or Grass Pokemon. Now, do keep in mind though that Pokemon have different move sets. Each Pokemon can have up to 3 moves. So they can have 1 fast move and 2 charge moves. So in addition to it being, for example, a Bulbasaur is a grass Pokemon, you do have to make sure that he has grass attacks to be super effective against the water ones. Because otherwise, he's not going to be super effective. Alrighty, so then once you have your teams picked, then all you have to do is go into the battle, select your party, battle and hopefully win against Team Rocket. Now, it does also matter about how many Pokemon you have left. So if you actually don't kill any of your Pokemon in battle and you have a full 3 Pokemon left over, you're gonna get 3 extra balls for the battle. So to give you guys an example, I actually did a couple battles to show you guys. So on this first battle here, I just chose something that I thought would be really good no matter against what. So the first one we have here is Dialga. Now Dialga is going up against a little Rattata, so you're thinking, oh, no problem, this will be a breeze. But look at that CP. A little tiny Rattata actually has more CP than a Dialga. So 2309 was the CP on this frickin' Rattata. Now out comes this Raticate, and look at this, I even get off a charged move on my Dialga. And this is just going to be insane. And, you know, a lot of people are having a problem with these battles, and, you know, this is exactly the reason why. Now watch this. Bam, out comes another Raticate. Now this now look at this. And this Raticate completely destroyed me. Okay, here comes Palkia. I'm thinking no problem, right? No problem, this Rattata has so little, this Raticate has so little life. Look at that. Knocks out my Palkia. Alright. And here comes Metagross. No problem, right? This Raticate has so little health. Look at that. Tore me apart, ate me alive. It busted through 3 really strong Pokemon. So this is what I'm saying. If you don't have the right team picked, you're pretty much screwed. But thankfully, see, look at that. At the end, if you do lose, your team leader is going to give you some tips about what Pokemon are going to be very effective against it. So even if you don't have this chart like I do, handy, well then if you do lose the battle, well then it is going to tell you. Now, it is kind of pricey because every time that you are in a battle, similarly to battling gyms, you do have to revive and you do have to use your potions. And so that is another reason why it's best to maximize on these battles, to do the best you can, to do the best resources. So basically, fighting type is really effective against normal. So look at this. One Machamp kicks the butt out of this first Rattata. Alright, so now I'm actually saving up the charge move here because I don't want to use it just yet. I want to use it on the Raticate. So here comes the last one, the Raticate. I go ahead and do the charge move right away. Here we go, getting off the charge move, super effective, bam, down it goes. So look what a difference it was choosing the right team to battle against a normal type Pokemon versus using just things that you think are gonna be good. So basically, that is the best way to battle Team Rocket. So first and foremost, set up any team in Master League. It doesn't have to be specific Pokemon. That'll just give you the option of, once you go into battle, selecting unlimited CP Pokemon. Otherwise, if you don't have any Master Leagues created, it's going to default you to Great League, and you could only use up to 1,500 CP. So that's first and foremost. Second is do your research. See what the grunts say at the end, see what Pokemon that relates to, and then you know which Pokemon to choose to be super effective against it. If you don't know, I'll give you a great resource. It's actually pvpoke.com. On there you can look up the Pokemon. You can look up, for example, Eradicate. You can see what's going to be the most effective against it. And then, like for example, if you see that it is Machamp that's going to be super effective against it, you could then click on the Machamp and you can see which are actually the ideal movesets to have against it. So that should be a really good resource for you guys. Now, just a few final points on the whole Team Rocket event. Why is it important to do this? I'm a collector, so that's kind of my biggest thing, is I want to collect all the Pokemon, the Shadow Pokemon, the Purified Pokemon as quickly as I could. So it's really cool for the collection because the Pokemon look awesome. Like, I personally love the Shadow Pokemon, those red eyes and that smoke. I mean, that just looks fantastic. Even when you throw inside of a gym, you still see the smoke pop up. It just looks awesome. So I love it for that fact. Now, secondly, you have to be thinking about in the future. These stops are here to stay for a very long time. How do I know that? Because if you look at your badges, you can see that it's very many battles you have to go up against to get your silver medal and to get your gold medals for both a Purifier and a Shadow Pokemon Catcher. So that tells me that these stops are here to stay. Now currently there aren't really that many interesting Pokemon that you can find as Shadow Pokemon, and you have to think about it in the future. In the future there's probably going to be like very awesome Pokemon to catch, or maybe even some like limited time event Pokemon where you're going to want the max amount of balls. And that, in my opinion, is why it's important to do these Team Rocket Go battles, because the more battles that you do, the more Shadow Pokemon that you capture, the more Purified Pokemon that you captured, you're going to be increasing all your badges, and then through your badges you're actually going to be getting more balls for the catch screen. So if you do end up getting the gold badge for the Shadow Pokemon, that'll give you 3 extra balls, and if you end up doing the Purifier, that'll give you another 3 balls. So in the future, when you do find some Pokemon you actually do want to capture, you're going to have a lot of balls to actually do it with, because so far I haven't really had any trouble with not catching any Pokemon. I believe I've caught every single Shadow Pokemon I've battled up against, but I do imagine in the future if there's like maybe legendary Pokemon or something, they're going to be much harder to catch, and those balls are going to be very important. Now another really good thing that you can do is when you purify a Pokemon, it actually adds +2 to each of the stats. So if you find a Pokemon that's very close to 100%. For example, I found this really good Charmander that I then evolved into a Charizard, and that I then ended up purifying, and I got 100% Charizard that is purified. And the cool thing about the purified Pokemon too is they also carry the light shadow around them. So that's really awesome. When you throw them in gyms, you can actually tell that they're going to be purified. Now in my opinion, Charizard isn't too interesting to me, even though he is 100%, because I already have a few shiny Charizard with the special community move that are ready for PvP. So having 100, it's just like a collector's item. But you know, I love collecting, so there you go. Now another thing to note about these stops is actually they're up all the time. It's like very late night even. I was out at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and I've been finding these Team Rocket Go stops, which is very awesome, because I was afraid initially when it came out it would be the same thing like raids, that at a certain hour they would just stop. But currently, no, they are available at all hours of the day. And now how long are they available for? So when you see a stop change into a Team Rocket stop, I would recommend just going to it right away, because currently there is no timer on it like raids, so you can't see when that stop is going to actually disappear. So go to it as soon as you can, but I theorize that it's actually half an hour. Now my theory is that it's almost like a random lure on a stop. So basically whatever math they do in the background, whatever, just, you know, those Team Rocket grunts pop up at the Pokestops, similarly to how incense works. So I believe that it's actually for a half an hour. So if you see a Team Rocket stop appear in front of you, then you have about half an hour to battle it. But as I'm saying, the sooner the better. Now another really cool thing about these Team Rocket stops is that you can actually spin them on the go and battle remotely. And so that's very cool. Of course, if you're a passenger of a car, because you can't play Pokemon Go while driving, right? But if you are a passenger, you can actually try to spin a stop. Even if you don't spin it, if you're going at the exact correct speed, you can just exit out of it and it'll still give you the battle sequence and you'll be able to battle. And unlike a gym where if you get a certain distance away from it, you're no longer able to battle it, just as long as you're on that screen when you're battling Team Rocket, you can go as far as you can battle remotely, and you can catch remotely. Obviously though, if you exit, it's going to cancel it out. But that's another thing that's really cool, is that you can actually spin them on the go and you can get your battle and you can battle remotely. So that's another cool little feature, unlike gyms. So that's about it, trainers. That is my tutorial for how to beat Team Grunt. Make sure to check that text, see what they say, see what type of Pokemon they're using, and choose Pokemon that are going to be super effective against it. So good luck, trainers. Let me know how many Shadow Pokemon you have. Let me know how many Purified Pokemon you have. And let me know in general what you think of this new system. In my opinion, I really love it because it really focuses on a system that's very similar to PvP, and it also focuses on actually knowing your types, because up till now, I don't think a lot of people valued Pokemon types and their importance that much, because when you would go into a raid with a lot of people, it wouldn't really matter what you use. Now that you only are able to battle these Team Rocket Go grunts alone, it really matters what type you use. So there you have it, trainers. And as I mentioned, if you're new to my channel, please make sure to subscribe. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I try my best to interact with you as much as I can. And then you can follow me on Twitter at Moosepunk. The O's are actually zeros. So thank you so much, trainers. Let me know in the comments what you think. Until next time.